Have you ever thought about how hard it is to say no to some people? Why can't they help but please others just because they cannot say no? Acquiring the skill of saying no is more important than ever in a world where requests for our time and attention seem limitless. It can be difficult to juggle job, family, social responsibilities, and personal needs, but learning when to say no is important for your performance and well-being. This is difficult for a lot of people, mostly because they are afraid of disappointing other people, missing out, or appearing uncooperative. However, being able to decline requests with grace and confidence may change your life by helping you better manage your time and energy and make room for the things that count. Knowing your personal boundaries is the first step to becoming an expert at saying no. Everybody has a different threshold for social contact, effort, and stress. Maintaining your well-being depends on knowing where your boundaries are. This necessitates carefully evaluating your present obligations and how they affect your physical and emotional well-being. For example, it's obvious that your plate may be too full if you often feel overwhelmed or ignore your personal time. Knowing when you're at your limit and when you're getting close to it are both important aspects of knowing your boundaries. You can determine how much you can actually bear by regularly reflecting on yourself. Yes, that's right. Knowing your boundaries can help you make better choices about whether to accept additional responsibilities or duties. The fear of disappointing or offending others is one of the main barriers to saying no. Since compliance and agreeableness are valued so highly in our culture, it can be challenging to say no to requests, even when they are more than we can handle. Overcommitting and feeling overextended might result from the need to fit in or avoid disagreement. It's critical to understand that saying no does not imply being rude or self-centered. Setting limits that enable you to put your own wants and well-being first is the better course of action. Rethinking how you approach saying no can be beneficial. Consider it an act of self-care and self-respect rather than rejecting someone. Saying no not only saves you time and energy, but also enables you to participate more completely and successfully in the responsibilities you take on. Effectively stating no requires assertiveness. Setting and maintaining limits with confidence and clarity without resorting to coercion or regret is the essence of assertiveness. It involves expressing your wants and boundaries in a way that is considerate of other people as well as yourself. Being assertive means that you're showing respect for your own time and energy, not merely saying no to a request. Say, I'm currently managing several important tasks and won't be able to give this new project the attention it deserves. When a colleague asks you to take on a project that you don't have the time for. This response recognizes the significance of the request while succinctly outlining your present limits. Assertiveness helps you set boundaries without feeling the need to justify or over-explain your decision. The way you respond to someone when you say no can have a big impact. Usually, the best course of action is to respond honestly and directly. Rather than making vague excuses, give a clear explanation. For example, you may say, I'm sorry, but I have prior commitments that day and won't be able to attend if you have to refuse an invitation to a social function. This method is respectful and straightforward, which lessens the possibility of miscommunication or hurt feelings. It's crucial to pay attention to the way you respond and the tone in which you say it. You may communicate your point without coming across as rude or dismissive by using a firm, yet kind tone. Expressing gratitude for the invitation or request might also lessen the blow of your rejection. For example, thank you for thinking of me, but I'm unable to participate this time, acknowledges the gesture while maintaining your boundaries. Establishing boundaries in the workplace is important for sustaining productivity and preventing burnout. Many people find it difficult to keep up with requirements relating to their jobs out of fear of appearing disagreeable or losing their jobs. Setting clear boundaries, though, may really improve your productivity and job satisfaction. You may maintain your focus and productivity by controlling your workload and setting limitations on new tasks. It's critical to express your boundaries clearly when you are faced with work-related requests that go beyond your existing capabilities. Saying, I'm currently focused on several key projects is one response you may give a boss when they ask you to take on a new project. Could we talk about who should get this new task prioritized or perhaps given to someone else? This method not only fulfills the request but also starts a conversation on efficient workload management. It takes careful planning and attention to strike a balance between professional and personal responsibilities. It's easy to let work demands take over your personal time, especially if you're determined to succeed in your career. But making time for relationships, hobbies, and relaxation is essential to maintaining overall well-being. When offered new tasks, consider how they will fit into your current routine and personal priorities. Saying no is acceptable if taking on more might upset your personal balance. In case a job-related event clashes with a scheduled family get-together, you may decide to give priority to your family time and turn down the business event. It's easier for people to accept your boundaries and comprehend your decisions when you communicate your priorities clearly. Social obligations might occasionally feel too much to handle, with so many invitations and expectations to deal with. Whether it's a neighborhood event, a friend's party, or a family get-together, it's critical to evaluate each invitation in light of your current commitments and overall well-being. Declining social invites politely doesn't indicate that you don't care about the people or the activities. Rather, it indicates that you need to put your personal needs first at that particular time. When a buddy extends an invitation to a weekend get-together and you're feeling exhausted, for instance, you may say, "I'd love to join, but I need some time to recharge this weekend. Come back when we have more time." This answer shows that you want to be connected, but you also acknowledge that you need time to yourself. Saying no can often trigger feelings of guilt, especially if you've grown used to pleasing other people. Refusing requests might cause friction, but it's important to deal with these emotions in a positive way. Remember that you are not the only one who benefits by conserving your time and energy. Those around you do too. You can interact with people more positively and meaningfully when you're rested and focused. Remind yourself of the reasons behind your decision and engage in self-compassion exercises to help you overcome guilt. Recognize that saying no is a kind of self-care and that it's acceptable to put your needs first. You may lessen the shame and emphasize the need to set limits by framing your refusal as a decision that is in your best interests. Having the ability to say no is crucial to self-care. You make room for things and people that are really important by saying no to requests or obligations that might overburden you. Setting self-care as a top priority entails understanding your own needs and making decisions that promote your general well-being. This might include making time for hobbies, unwinding, or spending time with close friends and family. You're better able to manage life's responsibilities and give your all to the commitments you choose to make when you put self-care first. This improves your well-being and makes it easier for you to make meaningful contributions to the aspects of your life that are most important to you. Saying no with grace requires a little empathy and respect, even though being straightforward and honest is important. Thank them for their request and acknowledge that it has been reviewed. For example, you may say, "Thank you for considering me for this opportunity. If you're unable to take part in a project, I won't be able to help this time around because I'm now concentrating on other obligations. Thank you for your understanding." This method expresses respect for the requirements of the other person while making it obvious what your own boundaries are. Graceful communication lessens the possibility of misunderstandings and disputes while assisting in the maintenance of beneficial relationships. You may both state your own wants and show respect for the other person's desire by politely declining their request. There are times when people will continue to ask for a yes even after you've rejected. It's critical to maintain your composure and set clear limits in these circumstances. Reiterate your stance in a polite but forceful manner. If needed, provide alternate options. For instance, you may respond, "I know you need help, but I have already committed to other obligations. If a buddy keeps pressuring you for a favor, maybe there's someone else who could help." Reiterating your limits and avoiding misunderstandings in the future are made easier when you respond consistently. Gaining practice saying no has several long-term advantages. You'll be more likely to have a healthy work-life balance, lower your stress level, and avoid burnout if you safeguard your time and energy. Consequently, this improves your general productivity and well-being. You experience more joy and fulfillment in both your personal and professional life when you can dedicate yourself fully to your chosen pursuits and keep your attention on the things that really matter. Saying no also gives you the opportunity to make room for your own development. Not being overburdened by obligations allows you to take up new interests, engage in hobbies, and strengthen relationships with the people in your life that are most important to you. This well-rounded way of living encourages a feeling of purpose and contentment. In the end, learning to say no is about respecting your time and yourself. It's an acknowledgement of your needs and limitations as well as an act of self-respect. You make room for significant experiences, relationships, and activities when you know when to say no. You gain from this and are also able to interact with the world around you more completely and honestly. To sum up, learning how to say no is essential to efficient time and energy management. It entails being aware of your boundaries, getting over your fear of letting people down, and honing your assertiveness and empathy. Establishing boundaries and making self-care a priority can help you safeguard your health and lead a more balanced, satisfying life. Remember that saying no doesn't mean rejecting other people. Rather, it means making decisions that are deliberate and supportive of your own wants and goals. Accept this power and you'll discover that you're better able to handle the rigors of life with grace and confidence. Although it's not always simple, learning to say no is an essential step on the path to a more fulfilling and manageable existence. You can protect your time and energy and make room for the things that are actually important by being aware of your boundaries, using assertiveness, and placing a high priority on self-care. You may preserve your well-being and honor and value the relationships and commitments that are significant to you by learning how to say no with grace. Follow these practices and watch how you gradually stop being a people pleaser and start saying no. What do you think is the most important tip for saying no? Let us know your opinion in the comment section below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if it has helped you in any way. Take care of yourself, and we will be back with another amazing topic soon.